Geonosis TB is coming up, and everyone is trying to figure out what they're going to do about these crazy platoons where you're putting in Darth Revan and Malik and crew and your Night Sisters, and it feels like your teams are getting kind of destroyed. But it is important to prioritize what you are getting with your platoons versus what you are giving up. So let's take a look at the platoons and figure out where you need to focus your characters to try and optimize your battles. So there are two different things that happen with platoons. You can either boost your team or you can bring down your opponents. What's going to be important is to trying to figure out how you need to progress on each of these in order to really make sure that you're optimizing whether or not you're giving up too much versus what you are gaining. So let's start with what you are going to get as a buff with the allied strategic abilities. Now the first one is the Droid Factory. Now the Droid Factory is the one that will allow you to summon another character into the ally slot based on where you are with the progression. There are 3 different levels that you can get, and we're going to take a look at where you really want to try and focus if you don't have the luxury of being able just to fill platoons openly because of all of those Darth Revans and Darth Maliks. When we look at the Droid Factory, there are 3 different levels, and you could progress from the B1 Battle Droid to the B1 Commander to the B2 Rocket Trooper. Now, what exactly do each of these provide, and why do you need to focus on them? Well, the main thing I want to point out is for level 3 in particular, what you are getting is a very specific addition to the ability. Besides moving up to level 3, you can see that what you are getting is a Droid Ally cooldown reset. The Droid Ally cooldown reset is going to be very specific, and so you may not be able to get a benefit from this depending on how deep your Dark Side Droid roster is. As for the other ones, level 1 is going to make it so that it dispels all buffs on all enemies, which is great, and then level 2 is going to add the Separatist allies gain turn meter, and we know the importance of Separatists in here, and there are a lot of Separatists that we're going to be able to use. So, mainly, depending on the depth of your Separatists, you are looking at trying to target either a level 1 or a level 2 if you can't get all the way to a level 3. Now, I would recommend a level 2, and that is because of the abilities of the B1 Battle Droids. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 B1 Battle Droids before we jump into the Rocket Trooper. So the B1 regular Battle Droid, you will see, grants 20% turn meter to a random ally that has no positive status effects, so you can start to get a little bit of turn meter for those that don't have any buffs. Deals physical damage, and then can also inflict defense down on its second ability. But the B1 Battle Commander, the Battle Droid Commander, is one that's a little bit different and has a utility that may come very handy, and that is his Devastate ability. So while his basic is pretty much the same, when you look at his Devastate ability, it now dazes enemies for 2 turns and deals physical damage to them. That daze prevents turn meter gain, and we know that there are a lot of Jedi and a lot of Galactic Republics that we currently have that gain a lot of turn meter. So this turn meter reduction with the daze, or turn meter gain prevention with the daze, can become very useful. So the B1 Commander is the one that I would say you want to target. Now let's take a look at the B2 Rocket Trooper and see what he has. Now the B2 Rocket Trooper gives you the ability of ability block, gives you offense down, gives you healing immunity, and all of that stuff is great. But again, what are you giving up in order to get it? So if you are trying to figure out how deep you want to go in the platoons where you get this ability for the Droid Factory, I would recommend that you go to level 2 minimally and stay there before you decide whether or not you want to push for level 3 and figure out what you're going to be giving up. The next one that you gain bonuses for is the core ship. Now the core ship is one that I would tell you that you probably need to max out, because we know the importance of speed in this game. And what this does is that it provides speed when you get to level 3. So by level 2, you gain 10% extra speed, and at level 3, you get 5 speed. Plus, at the start of each Separatist ally's turn, they recover health and equalize health with all other Separatist allies, which means that you can't necessarily have a focused fired target. This allows for more survival for your Separatists. Now, we'll have to see how these battles work out, but the core ship one is one that I will tell you right now I would be targeting to get all the way completed in these platoons. Then you have the Hailfire tank, which is one that I would probably put as last. Now the reason for that is it deals physical damage to target enemy, and it inflicts debuffs. It inflicts the damage over time for 2 turns. You can add more, it'll increase the damage, all great. But if your characters can survive without this additional bonus, that will be great, especially since this is very specific to Separatist characters only. The other ones, while they might have some Separatist focus, do have abilities that apply to everyone. Not this one. This one is granted to Separatist characters only. So because of the restrictiveness of this one, this is one that I might keep lower on my priority list to fill any of the platoons in order to make sure that the Separatists are the only ones that are getting it, and maybe you don't have the depth in order to take advantage of it. And the last one is the Metal Mayhem. Now, the Metal Mayhem is for droid allies. So this is another one that gets a little bit more restrictive, right? And again, it depends on the depth of your droids. So at level 1, it's all droid allies have that. You gain another 10% critical chance at level 2. You gain 15% critical chance and critical damage at level 3. If you have the depth in droids on the dark side, go ahead and start pushing this one. But as a guild, I know a lot of you probably have not focused heavily on your dark side droids, and as such, you can keep this one maybe on the back burner and fill out what you can without sacrificing too much to lose any of those waves in your missions. Now let's take a look at the enemy ones, because these ones will be a little bit more important to make sure that your guild can survive some of the onslaught that you're going to be facing. Now, Republic Resolve is an interesting one because it allows for Galactic Republic characters, which are the ones that you'll be facing, to have critical avoidance and gain bonus turn meter, or gain a bonus turn whenever they defeat an enemy. Now, what you can do for this one is I would suggest just going up 1 rank. And the reason for 1 rank is it gets you to level 2. And what happens is that the critical avoidance goes down by 10%, which is great. So now it's only 15% critical avoidance. And then also the Galactic Republic characters don't gain turn meter when an enemy gains bonus turn meter. So now you prevent that turn meter gain, right? And so this is going to be useful in helping prevent that turn meter gain, which is the second part of this, which is also they gain 5% turn meter whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter. So now you can stop that portion of it. If you can get it to level 1, that would be great because it also reduced the critical avoidance. But again, the key thing to this is going to be that you can get to level 2 to get rid of this bonus turn meter gain, or get to level the disabled, which is get it all the way maxed out, because then you get rid of that bonus turn meter. So Republic Resolve is one that you do want to focus on in order to remove to get rid of that bonus turn. Remember that they changed the mechanics between bonus turn and turn meter gain, so these changes will be critical. Another one that's going to be really important to disable is the ATTE. Now, the reason for the ATTE is because it does massive damage. Massive damage is not easy for a lot of characters to survive. If they're going to be having this ability start on cooldown and then be able to do massive damage to a target enemy and another random target enemy, when this thing comes up, you are looking at potentially 2 characters dead right off the bat. And so we need to stop this right at the beginning. ATTE, one of the abilities that you will want to try and get all the way disabled. So that is now 2 that we're focusing on, Republic Resolve and ATTE. Now there's going to be one more here, and that's the LAAT. Now, as you can expect, based on the other 2 being such priorities, the LAAT can be a little bit less prioritized. Why? Because this one is just doing damage over time. There are a lot of ways that you can potentially dispel debuffs on your character. There's other ways that you can heal up. Even with the dark side, although it's more heavy on the light side, there are healing abilities on the dark side. And so because of that, the damage over time impact is a little bit less than what you saw with the ATTE and the Republic Resolve. So when it comes down to the enemy platoons, make sure you prioritize your ATTE and Republic Resolves to try and get rid of that bonus turn meter and that massive damage so your characters can survive. So those are the platoons that I would tell you guys to focus on right now. We went through the allied ones, we went through the enemy ones. Make sure that your guild comes up with a focused plan based on what you have available to you. I am Infinity, and be on the lookout for some more Geonosian TB hints.